Hello.
Sir,
Is it now okay?
no, it will clear on, sir.
Okay. Yeah. See, inside the differential amplifier, రామకృష్ణ గారు ఒక పని చేయండి, మీరు ఎవరైనా వస్తే వాళ్ళు ఎలా చేయండి.
Okay, okay, sir.
So the differential amplifier is the first block in the operation amplifier. In the inside the op amp we have 4 blocks. One is the differential amplifier, one more is the level shifter, one more is the unbalanced differential amplifier, one more is the load, that means load connector. So we have 4 things. So out of that, this one is very important. Differential amplifier is the first element, first block in the operation amplifier. So that's why in the operation amplifier design, the differential amplifier is very important. So first we must understand what is the differential amplifier. We know the differential amplifiers are different categories. Generally, whatever the amplifiers we are seeing so far is single-ended amplifier. That means you can collect the output always with respect to the ground. Mostly, we have a 2 terminals output definitely. If you take CS or CZ or source follower or cascode, whatever it may be, you can have a 1 output terminal. Then of course your output should be collected with respect to the ground. Ground is the default terminal of the output. But in case of differential amplifier, is not like that. We are not going to collect the output with respect to the ground. We are not doing like that. Okay, so we have 2 terminals at the output. One is very positive, one more is negative. Generally, we have, if you go with the regulator power supply, we have a regulator power supply, DC power supply, we have positive and negative DC power supply. So then we have a 2 terminals other than the ground. You can take the ground as a third element, no problem. Got the point? Yeah. So far we studied the single-ended amplifier. What is the drawback with the single-ended amplifier? That means if you have a single output, one output terminal. Yeah, we have some problem. That problem we discuss here. So that is the why we are going to the differential amplifier. Now let us look how the differential amplifier is looking like. So what are the benefits with this differential amplifier? What are the benefits? How can you design the differential amplifier? These are the things we need to discuss here. Only the thing is, what is the advantage? What is the basic circuit? Why we need to study this one, and how to design this. See, if you read the sentence, the differential amplifier has many useful properties. What properties? So mostly the differential amplifier is the basic, as I said in the last class or before last class or whatever, maybe in this, especially in this coursework, I started with the analog design. The basic element is the operation amplifier. Whereas in the digital design, what is the basic element? Inverter. So as I said, the basic element of this any analog circuit is, analog design is only the op amp. What is the inside the op amp we need to study? That is the differential amplifier. Okay, the one of the blocks inside the op amp is what? Differential amplifier. So that's why we need to study the differential amplifier. Okay, so differential operation has become the factor of choice in today's high performance among analog and mixed signal design. Analog and mixed design. Mixed design means both digital and analog. Some circuits are mixed design circuits. Some are purely analog, some are purely digital. So now we are depending on the mixed design. So because we need to club the benefits of both the analog design and the digital design. So that's why the mixed signal design is very popular, of course. But the design is somewhat difficult, but the benefits are more. Sometimes we must go through that. There is no option. Generally in the ADC design, we are using both analog and digital parts. Analog and digital parts. So that is called the mixed design. process. Okay. So the next one is, so here what we discussed is the design of the CMOS differential amplifier. In this chapter, what we are going to do, CMOS differential circuit. Of course, you know the different technologies. NMOS technology, PMOS technology, CMOS technology, BiCMOS technology, gallium arsenide technology. So we have many technologies we have. FinFET technology today. So different technologies we have, but as we are basic, we are in the basic coursework. So definitely we can start with the CMOS design. Okay, so we are not going with any NMOS and PMOS technologies. We are going to the CMOS technology. CMOS technology, you know the advantage, many advantages compared to the NMOS and PMOS, NFET and CFET technologies. The best example is for what? So both are failing, either NMOS or PMOS is failing to produce the full voltage swings. Full voltage swing means, suppose for example, if you take the inverter circuit as an example, so when the input is 0, output must be VDD. But you will not get full VDD for the 0 input for the PMOS inverter. If you take NMOS inverter, you will not get 0 output for the input of VDD. So they are failing. Both the technologies are failing to produce the full voltage swing. So how can you compensate this? You can compensate these things with the CMOS technology. The CMOS technology. So why the case has been existed means in the inverter circuit, if you visualize the inverter circuit, you can have an load and the driver. The load is generally always, it must be on. The load device must be always on. It must be in the saturation mostly. You can take the depletion mass transistor as a load in all the cases, either PMOS and NMOS. So in both the cases, what happens? Whenever you consider the depletion mass flux, it must be always in saturation so that the some biasing voltage is applied, or its gate is tied to the what? Source or drain based on the technology you are using. So what happens? It is like to say, so because one transistor is always in the on, so another transistor, the bottom transistor or the bottom network transistor is it will be on or off, depends on the input you can to the gate. So whenever both are on, suppose when the input is sufficient, then the bottom transistor will be on. Whenever it is on, already the above upper transistor is on, so that both will be on, and there is a direct path is established between the supply rails, VDD and ground. That is the issue. Off will consume the more power consumption. So apart from this voltage thing, there is a lot of power consumption both the technology. Whereas in the case of CMOS technology, what happens? One is the upper one is the PMOS and bottom one is the NMOS. So both the transistor numbers switched on at the same time. Because of that, there is no chance of establishing the direct path from the supply rails. There is no static power consumption, and moreover, so these voltage swings will be full voltage swing will be obtained. There is no question of degradation of either VDD or 1 or 0. So these are the benefits of the what? CMOS technology. That's why we are talking about the CMOS technology. So how can you design the CMOS differential amplifier? Start with single-ended and differential operations. Yeah, what is a single-ended? Of course, what you studied so far is a single-ended. Okay, once again, we can start with them with that structure, and so we'll later. I think that can be extended towards the differential operation. How the differential operation is going on. So I will describe the basic differential pair and analyze both the large and small signal behavior of the circuit. What do you mean by large signal analysis, and what do you mean by small signal analysis? It's very simple. Already in the last module we studied. For example, if you take an inverter, input is 0. Later, after some moment of time, the input is varying from 0 to VDD. This is a large variation. VDD is 0 volts. Sorry, 0. Ground is 0. Vs is 0, and VDD is 5 volts. There is a variation is large. Okay, or from VDD to ground, you are changing.